Hi, I'm John Twist of University Motors. I want to thank all the members of the Washington, D.C. MG Car Club who were my hosts this weekend, where we had a technical seminar at Wade Alexander's house. It was a lot of fun, and to Craig, whose 73 MGB I tuned, he looked like the second happiest guy on earth. Oh my gosh, did that car run well when we were done tuning it. So anyway, we ran into a problem there in Washington twice, and I thought I would point that out to you today, and that has to do with fitting Pertronix ignitions to your own distributors. I don't have exactly what's going on here, but I'll show it to you in a minute. Hey, right now we're putting a blower on Kurt Wienhorst's car, and I wanted to just show you some stuff about this. This is a 1967 MGB, and I can't turn the flywheel by hand, but you'll see up here the teeth are not very worn on the flywheel. But as we come along down here, you can see that they're chowed. See how they're chowed like this? Well, they're chowed in exactly the opposite place on the other side of the flywheel, and that's because we have a crash starter. The starter starts to turn and then crashes into the flywheel. So if you have the opportunity to fit a pre-engaged starter, a high torque starter to this, oh boy, that can be really nice. I want to come on down here and, oh, one other thing. Here we have a, we're going to come around and take a look at this oil filter housing on the MGB engine. And this is to put a spin-on oil filter. Now, some people think spin-on oil filters are really cool and everything. Me, I'm Mr. Original. I prefer to have the long canister with a half 13 bolt that's that long that you got to fit up in there, and it leaks every fifth time you change the oil. I like those rather than the spin-ons. But some people love the spin-ons. They are relatively easy to change the spin-on. But pay attention to this big bolt here and this guy right here, because when he's fitted, sometimes he stands a little proud, and you can spin the oil filter on, and the oil filter will bottom out on this bolt, but won't get tight out here, okay? So, in the leak. So you just be cautious of that. Now here's the Pertronix distributor. This is a Pertronix distributor made by Pertronix, and you can see they got this nice little rubber thing on the side to hold the wires, and the wires don't, oh, there we go, we can move the wires in and out. You don't want to have the wires this long inside, because then when you go to put the cap on, they're going to get trapped, or if you push them inside, they're going to rub on the rotor, and they'll get a hole in the wire, and finally the wire will abrate far enough where it actually fractures. We saw that this weekend. But the other thing that we saw this weekend was so unfortunate, and that is that the red wire here, this is not on a Pertronix distributor, this is on one which the Pertronix had been fitted to a more modern distributor, is that the wire wasn't tied down carefully enough, and it chafed against a very sharp edge of the contact breaker base plate. And in so chafing, when the vacuum advance unit was operational, like this, okay, when it was operational, when the car was idling, it pulled this thing up and shorted it. As soon as it shorted it, the car quit, and you lost the vacuum, and the plate returned to its natural position where it began firing again. And then as soon as it started firing and the engine started running, you got vacuum, and it would quit again. So for a while, on the road, the car was surging, it would run, At the same time, you get a dead short every time it goes, every time it does that, it dead shorts, so the wiring all underneath the dashboard began burning up. In the end, all it was a little tiny slice in the wire where it grounded out, and it burned up all the wiring underneath the dash. So please, when you're fitting the Pertronix, which are wonderful units, 2 horsepower, right? Just by fitting this to your original distributor. If you're not comfortable doing it, send it to Jeff Schlemmer, Advanced Distributors in Minnesota. But if you're fitting it yourself, be cautious of the wiring. That's really, really critical. Let's go over and take a look at the TC today. We're working on a lot of stuff. Maybe our videographer will take a short sweep here. We've got an MGA here whose engine is out, and some of that already is at the machine shop. We got a TR6 that came in from the greater Detroit area for a little bit of a tune-up, my late wife's car, which is still awaiting some work. And here we've got Jerry Fiorelli's MGTC. So let's take a walk around this and just take a look. I know Jerry logs on every day. Let's take pan on the car. Jerry logs on it every day, and I know he'd like to see what we've been doing. Here we've got these aftermarket things on here. Isn't that so slick? Shell, motor oil, and come around to the side here. We've got the dash. It looks like we've got a Mr. Christopher medal. I can't remember if the Catholic Church re-sanctified him or not. I remember in the 60s after Vatican II, they desanctified him, so all the religious stores were selling Mr. Christopher medals. Anyway, that's on the dash. And Kurt's been working with the interior here, come around the back, and as a matter of fact, I just emailed about this extra tire today, and I already got an answer back, but I don't know what it was. Kurt's working with the inside of the chronometric instruments right now. Let me grab one and just show it. It's like clockwork on the back, you know, but we got a lot of old grease here. So all these little things, it looks like some European clock tower arrangement where some little man comes out and hits a bell every hour. That would probably be easier to fix than these. These things are so tiny. So anyway, this is we're coming along on this, and I want to remind everybody too that I'm going to be at Carlisle, Pennsylvania, on May 21st. That weekend. That's the big Carlisle Import Show, and if you live in the east, anywhere from western Pennsylvania to North Carolina, you know, it's in just outside Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's a really nice show. Lots and lots of MGs and British cars. And Carl Heidemann from Eclectic Motorworks and I will be there giving seminars. So stop by. You know, I'll have a booth underneath I can think of the word here. I know if I work at this long enough, underneath the grandstand, I'll have a booth there selling my tech book and some DVDs. So stop by, you know, and say hi. Until then, see you guys later.